Hi, I'm Terry Churchill, and I help you go from overwhelmed to overcoming and from stress to success in the area of finance. And I love helping people get control of their money so they're not left wondering where did it all go? And to be able to do the things that you love, to be able to plan for the things that are important to you. And so today, what I want to talk about is giving. Because I think that God created us with a desire to be generous. And God is such a generous God, and we're created in His image. And so I feel like we just all have this desire to want to give and be generous, whether it's with our time, with our possessions, but especially with our money. And so that's what I want to talk about today is how does it relate to our budget, okay, and our plan? Because I help people come up with a plan so that they can do the things they want to do. They can give to the things they want to give to. They can pay off debt, get control of their money, all of those things. But I know for us, one of the biggest heartbreaks when we were struggling so bad financially was we couldn't help people. We didn't have money to give because our money was so out of control. It was like, well, we have debt and we have bills and all of these things. What do you do? How do we give? That's what I thought. And it's a lie because I thought, oh, we can't afford to give. When we make more money, when we get out of debt, when the kids are out of college, when their sports are done and that expense, when the car is paid off, when there's always something, I'll start giving then. And I know that there are even plans out there that really recommend that you get out of debt first and have some in savings, have like an emergency fund. And those things are super important. And I think that they are like where we need to start for sure. But I wouldn't wait. My recommendation is don't wait until you have those things in place to start giving, because the benefits and the joy that come with giving are just so enormous, and the freedom. So what we did is we started really small, and that's what I would recommend, because it kind of feels scary especially if you have a lot of other bills or debt that you're trying to pay off, or you don't have a lot in savings. It feels kind of scary to spend a lot of money on giving or be giving money away that you're afraid that you might need. So I don't think it's the concept. It's the idea of giving. And the Bible even says to give generously. Don't give begrudgingly. And so we're wired to do it. So how much can you give? Ask yourself that question. How much can I give without begrudgingly giving it? So how much feels good, or that I can give joyously and say, yeah, this feels really good. And I know it might sound like, you might say like, oh, that's zero. I don't want to give anything. But I would challenge you to think like, okay, you know what? It would feel good to give $5 a month. And so that's what we did. We started out, and I don't remember the amount, but it was really small. I want to say it was maybe $10 a month. And we just thought no matter what our finances look like, no matter what our current situation, we are going to start giving $10 a month. And so we just created an envelope. At that time, we were using envelopes. We use a different system now with more keeping track of, I call them virtual envelopes. But so we started just putting $10 every month into this envelope. And it was so fun because all of a sudden there would be this need or a charity, or we would go to an event and they were raising money for something that felt really, really important to us. And then we would be able to say, wow, we have $50 in our giving fund, or we have $10 in our giving fund. But we were able to give without worrying about, is that going to affect other areas? Because we had it set aside for that. It was part of our plan. So that's what I encourage you to do today, is think about where could you start. If you're not a giver, if you're not giving, my guess is that you have a desire to want to be able to give. And so I just encourage you to start small, because that can be an excuse too. Well, I can only give $5 a month. That's not very much. Yes, if you have $1 a month to give, do it, because you will be amazed at how it feels. And then once you get in the groove, you may or may not decide, hey, this $5 a month, $1 a month, this is pretty easy. I think I'm going to up it to $2 a month or $20 a month, or whatever that next step is. And it grows. But that's not the point. Don't even look down the path. I just want to give you kind of a hint of what's to come. Once you start giving, you'll love it so much that you'll want to give more. And it really does free you up. And so you experience this freedom when you start to give, and it's just so much fun that my guess is that your desire will be to increase that amount. And if not, that's okay too. I just want to challenge you to start somewhere, and start giving to whatever. Like when we first started out, it was like, you know what, we really want to give to people that we know that need the help. So we started with people that if someone would request or be saying like, oh, I just feel so broke, or I can't afford to go out to eat, or whatever, like pay for their dinner, or give someone money that was needing it for a specific reason, like a certain person for a reason. And then as it grew, then it's like, okay, well, what kind of things are important to us? What organizations or charities or churches do we want to give to? So again, just a glimpse into the future. I don't want you to worry about that. I want you to think about, what could you start with? What could you set aside and plan for? Because I think it's the most important thing when it comes to our money is giving. More than, I think you need to budget for it, but even if you don't, I think it's still so important to be giving. More than saving, more than trying to penny pinch, more than anything, I think it's important to be giving. I think it's life-changing. There's so many benefits to giving. And I think that's why the Bible tells us to give, to just like right away take some money and give it. Everything that comes in, give some back to something that's important, because it will make you feel happy. So that's one benefit. It just gives you a really good feeling. And believe it or not, it's good for your health. And so I just listed some things here that I found online. It can lower your blood pressure, lower your stress levels. You'll have less anxiety and depression, and increased self-esteem. Those are all health benefits from giving just a little bit. It doesn't have to be a lot. It's the act of giving, not the amount, that has these benefits. It promotes social connection. So there's a verse, Matthew 6:21, that says, so for where your treasure is, there your heart will be also. So when you give to things that matter to you, it's like your heart is drawn to those things. Your heart follows. So it creates that connection socially and for a larger purpose. You feel part of a bigger picture when you give. So that's another benefit. The other thing is it's contagious. Generosity is contagious. So as you start to give, other people around you will start to be more generous as well. And then finally, the last benefit of giving is gratitude. When someone gives you something and you can be grateful for it, and it feels you're thankful and that's so wonderful, it doesn't compare to the gratitude that you feel when you're able to give to someone or something that matters to you. It's like something you can't describe. You just feel gratitude. You feel grateful, not just for the ability to give, but it's like by being generous, it just triggers gratitude in you in general. So you're more grateful for the things that you do have, even if it's not related to what you're giving. But you become grateful for the opportunity to give, but then it also opens your eyes to all the things that you are grateful for. So I just want to encourage you today to start somewhere, even if it's really small, if it's $1 a month, but make a plan to start giving. Even if you don't know what you're going to give to, start setting that money aside in an envelope and just label it giving. And you will be amazed. And I would love to hear your feedback on what kind of results you get, what kind of feelings you get. If any of the benefits that I listed apply to you after you start giving, I am confident that they will. So I just want to encourage you once again, start a plan to start giving. All right. Thanks and have a great day. I will see you next Thursday.